Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Frigidaire dryer terminal block. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the screws, the electrical connections, and the terminal block. The terminal block is where the dryer power cord is connected to the wiring harness inside the dryer. The main reason to be changing it out is if one of the terminals got loose and the block shorted out, causing it to melt. In order to get to the part, we have to remove the top of the dryer. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and go around back to remove the screws. With the screws out of the way, we can take the top off. All you have to do is pull it back about a half an inch or so and lift it off the dryer and set it aside. With the top out of the way, we can take off the access panel for the terminal block. We're just going to remove this one Phillips screw and set it aside. Now that we have the access panel out of the way, we're going to remove the 3 screws that hold in the power cord. If this block burns out, usually these wires are just fried anyways and you're replacing the cord, but we'll show you how to take them off. If you have to, you can grab it with a little needle nose or something. Once you have all 3 screws out, we can loosen up the strain relief and get it out of the way. Once you have the strain relief off, you can just pull the power cord off and set it aside. You're going to be putting a new one on later. Now that we have the power cord out of the way, we can remove the 2 screws that hold the terminal block to the dryer. Once you have the screws removed, we can take the terminal block out of the dryer. All you have to do is rotate it back like this and lift it out. Once you have it out, we can take a look at the wires. You want to remember where yours go. On ours, it's black, double white, and red. Once you have the block out like this, we can actually cut these wires off and then we can strip them so we can get ready to put the new terminals on. Now that you have the terminal block cut off from the wires, we can pull it out of the dryer. Here's the old terminal block next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Now that we're ready to put the new terminal block in, we're going to use our wire strippers and strip off about a 1/4 inch of the insulation. We're going to go ahead and do that to all the wires. You can give them a few quick twists to hold them together, and then we can put the new terminals on. Just like the old terminal block, the gold ones were on the outside and the silver was on the middle. So we'll start with the black one, and we'll lay the wire in here like this. So the metal part is right in that lower section, and then crimp it down. Once you have the wire section crimped on, we can crimp the other end on so it holds onto the insulation. Now that we have the first one done, we can go ahead and do the other 2. Now that we have this crimped on and it's holding the wires, we can crimp the insulation. Once you have it crimped down, we can do the red one. When you're putting the block together, if these little tabs right here stop you from pressing the contact up into the block, these are where they were connected together on the factory line. So we're going to have to cut those off with a small wire cutters so it'll slide up into the block. You want to make sure when you put these in that the nuts are towards the bottom, and you have to kind of put this connector down past it and slide it into these tabs right here to lock it in place. If you have to, you might have to press down on it with the screwdriver to get them to go underneath these tabs. Once you have it snapped in, it should be lined up and the screw should fit in there nice and easy. Once you have the first one done, we can go ahead and do the other two. Remember, it was black, double white, red. Once you have all three of them into the terminal block, we can put it down onto the mounting bracket. Same as we took it off, we're going to lower it down into the mounts and rotate it over. Once you have it in place and the screw holes lined up, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put the screws back in. Now that we have the terminal block mounted, we can put on the new power cord. You want to feed it carefully up through the strain relief hole and line up the terminals so you can put the screws through them. Once you have them lined up, you can use a Phillips screwdriver and put them in. Once you have the screws snug, we're going to put the strain relief on and then come back and tighten those up. The strain relief is what holds it so you can't pull it off and just rip it off the block. So you want to make sure you put that on there. Now that we have the strain relief tightened down, we're going to go back up and tighten these three screws down really good. One of the things that makes these terminal blocks short out is that over the years of vibrating, the screws come loose and the terminals start to arc. So before we close up this panel, we want to make sure we get these as tight as possible. Once you make sure they're really tight, we can put the access panel back on. All you have to do is slide this tab behind the panel and then rotate it over and line up the hole so we can put the screw in. Now that we have the access panel installed, we can put the top back on the dryer. To put the top back on, you want to very carefully set it down so that the front of it goes right in that groove and that the little notches are lined up with the tabs on the control panel. And then you can push it forward. With the top in place, we can use our Phillips screwdriver to put in the two screws that hold it in place. Now that we have the dryer put back together, we can plug it back in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.